Welcome to Tatts Gats podcast, the very first episode.
Number one.
Number one. So what are we doing here? Who are we? What's this all about?
Just interviewing people from the gun world and from the tattoo world.
Yes.
I believe, Mr. Tattoo Artist.
Mr. Gun World?
Yeah.
So obviously this podcast is going to be heavily focused on our guests and interviews, but we thought it'd be cool for the first one to have you and I sit down and introduce ourselves to the future listeners of the show and watchers. So
Lots of watchers.
with that, I think we both agreed we want to do an EDC pocket dump right out the gate. But before we do that, should we introduce ourselves and a little bit about ourselves?
Yeah.
I'll go first. So my name is Alex Poulter. I am a tattoo artist. I've been tattooing for 10 years in the great city of Huntington Beach, California. Been very into firearms. I think I shot my first gun at 6 years old with my dad. He was in law enforcement, so that didn't seem weird to me. And I've been a student and a shooter ever since. And yeah, how about yourself?
I'm Lee Botkin. I am a DOD employee. I work in the crane department, loading Navy ships, all that good stuff that goes kaboom overseas. Been in the firearms almost my whole life. Started taking it real seriously the past 2 years. Got somewhat, decent enough to get some local attention. Became an instructor, certified. NRA, shout out to all my friends.
Yeah, what's up, TJ?
Yeah, what's up, TJ? Love you, everybody. And just try to bring some just common knowledge and safety to people. It's such a rare community locally in Southern California that I just want to keep it going and just do stuff and get involved and be like, hey, what's up? Started a company called RKB Tactical in 2019.
Who is the what?
One of the sponsors of Tatts Gats.
Along with Inked Tools, which is a company of mine that does booking software for tattoo artists. So if you're a tattoo artist watching, check us out. We can do your business management and booking software needs. So there's our sponsorships out of the way.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go with our pocket dumps, our everyday carry. If you're not familiar, it's what you carry on you every day for self-protection and other needs. So do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
I went first in the intro. So.
Right here is my...
Don't shoot me, please.
Gonna keep it holstered, but tier 1 holster. I got a Glock 45, that's my go-to in California. SRO optic, has a mod light, I'm not gonna take it out because it's loaded. Spare mag. And then a typical pocket knife, got a Gerber, cell phone. I also have a tourniquet because I don't want to die if I get shot. And a mod light handheld.
Oh man, I forgot my flashlight. But it's fair because I typically don't carry it. I keep it in my car.
What I carry.
So you really carry a tourniquet every day with you?
In my back pocket.
That's awesome.
Because I keep my little Kydex wallet in my front pocket.
Nice. Awesome. All right, so I'll start with the firearm as well. You always give me grief for not carrying my full size, which is actually a compact. The Glock 19. I'm running Holosun Red Dot and the Streamlight TLR H1 for the light in a T-Rex Arm Sidecar 2.0 holster.
Shout out to Lucas.
Yeah, do you know him?
Yeah, related.
And that brings up a good point. I have a shield that I carry mostly because when I'm tattooing, I'm sitting down all day and I don't like having something digging into my stomach. But since you've been pushing me to carry the Glock 19 more, I found that it's just as comfortable. I've already gotten used to it. So, and then yes, next I also carry, obviously most guys do, a knife. It's a little SOG. I picked it up at Turner's and someone gave me a gift certificate. But it's nice to have like when you don't carry it off. It's a box cutter. And then something that I carry that most guys don't, or at least in our world, pepper spray. I carry the Palm. For me personally, I've had incidents where, a guy comes up and is yelling and, I don't want my only option to be words and shooting. Yeah. And a knife is not a less lethal tool. It is a backup if you're done. But
You can laugh amount of use gun at that point.
yeah, people think like, oh, well, I have a knife. Like, that's a lethal weapon. So I do like carrying the pepper spray. I really don't want to smoke a crazy homeless guy if I don't have to. A little spicy water will
Does it come
do
to
the
the
trick.
so I can buy one?
It does actually, and it comes with like a keychain. I have them laying all over the house. Anytime my wife leaves the house, I'm like throw it out.
Yeah,
Take
take
it.
it.
And then wallet, phone. I do carry the little Surefire stiletto
That's a nice one.
because it's flat and it clips into my pocket and it's out of the way. So yeah, that's been done.
Thank you. So,
Yeah, solid done. So we have some standard questions we're going to be looking to ask all of our guests, and I thought it'd be cool to go through some of those. We already covered a little bit of our bio, background, what we do for work. This is a good one. What do you want to do in the future? Can you say?
I don't know. It's really hard to say what the future holds, but for right now, like short end goal would be get better at shooting. You know, just evolve. Everyone's always telling me, "Oh, I can't wait to get on your level." Like, I sucked a year ago.
Yeah.
You just got to put in the work, and I want to get better because there's other dudes that are way better than me, and I want to just be up there. And then train people, just get them more comfortable with carrying every day. 'Cause most people are scared to carry their gun because they're not proficient enough with it. They don't have the confidence.
How long have you been carrying for?
I've been carrying.
How long have you had your CCW?
I've been legally with my CCW for almost 5 years now.
Yeah. How long did it take? Did you have that initial getting over it phase?
I remember the first day, the day I went to the sheriff's office, picked up my permit, and I took my gun with me. I know you're probably not supposed to, but I took it with me in my truck, and I went to Target. Just to
walk around in the public.
Yeah. Just to test ride. And the whole time I was thinking, they can totally see it. They can totally see it.
Yeah, it's weird.
It was so weird, and then a month later, you're like, fuck it, they see it if not. So.
Did you do the carry without one in the chamber for a little bit?
No, never did.
I never did that
I
either.
always carried loaded, but I started with my
Carry in the chamber.
Yeah, carry the chamber. Don't die.
Yeah.
Just my Gen 3 Glock 19. That's what I started carrying.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now it just sits and collects dust. It's going super nice.
Yeah.
I got 2 Glock 45s that have seen the light. I've been converted.
I've been trying to.
It's a little harder in
Yeah.
California. They're hard to get one now.
Yeah. Cool, man. I think for my future, career-wise, I mean, there's some possible changes on the horizon. I can't get into it too much, but tattoo-wise, I just want to keep doing rad tattoos that I enjoy doing, develop my style further. It's taken me about 10 years to get to a place where I can, even have the voice to communicate with my clients. I used to just go, I'd be too afraid to say anything. If they said, this is what I want, I go, cool, slap it on there. And now I've found that for them to get the best tattoo, I need to be a little outspoken at times and give my input so they get the best tattoo. So just keep growing as an artist, tattoo-wise. Then on the training side, just try to keep up with you.
I'd like to say I have a few of your tattoos now. They're quite amazing, so
Man.
I need more.
Yeah, I do.
Do an RKB tattoo live right here or something.
Oh, that'd be awesome. All right, so this is a good question. First firearm purchase, if you can remember that.
My first firearm purchase was very embarrassing. It was a Springfield XD
That is embarrassing.
45. It was like, I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
Second gun was a Mini 14. So
That's wild.
I was just ridiculous off the get-go. I went to the Shootist in Westminster.
To see where you're at now, what you're shooting on the AR platform, what you carry, that you started with a Mini 14 and an XD 45.
I thought it was like the coolest thing in the world. But I blame all the oldies that worked at the Shootist when it was there in Westminster.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, you want the Mini 14 over the AR? And I'm just like, why did they steer me in this direction?
They probably had one they had to get rid of. They probably took a bet. Do you think we can get this kid to buy this thing?
This 21-year-old just retarded.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mistakes were made, lessons were learned.
Definitely. My first purchase, I believe, was an M&P Sport 2 AR.
See, that's not as bad as mine.
Not as bad. And then I think it was the Glock 19. One of those was first.
You started out better than I did.
Yes, but I did have, my dad had some firearms to let me
See, that's cool.
keep around that,
Yeah.
yeah. A little snub-nosed 38 hammerless. It was his backup down when he was
A
on
little
duty.
Saturday Night Special?
Yeah, and I actually, because legally, before I had my CCW, if you work in a business, you can carry in that business.
Okay.
So I carried that with like a leather holster.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know, no big deal. A good question for you would be, what was your first tattoo?
So my first tattoo, I was 18, and it was actually done by my, who would end up being my mentor, and later my coworker. His name's Heck Tattoo. I think we're gonna try and have that one. And I got prayer hands with the word faith. And it was like, it's a half sleeve. I still have it from here to here. And my reasoning was, if I get something religious, my mom and dad can't be too mad. So yeah, right out the gate, I went half sleeve. So it's
That's
like,
good. At least you waited till you're 18.
yeah, I'm surprised I did, but I actually waited till I was 18. I was kind of a good kid.
Yeah. Unlike me, I got my first tattoo at 60 in a garage.
Awesome.
Since I was like big into cars at the time in high school, I got the Chevy Fire and Order. Yeah.
What is that?
It's like on it.
Obviously not a car guy.
Like a small block Chevy.
Okay.
It's the distributor will spin. It supplies spark to the motor, the engine, and it goes in what order each cylinder goes.
Okay.
The Chevy Fire Order is 184-36572.
Wow.
Yeah, and it actually got me kicked out of the house for like a solid week with my old man at the time because he hates tattoos, still hates them.
Yeah.
It's now been covered up.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's a bummer.
it was brutal.
And so it was in the garage. Was it just a friend that like?
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
like, you want to get tattooed? Yeah, and then it was.
I eventually did do garage tattoos, but it wasn't my first.
Yeah.
But I remember a friend of mine showed up. We were hanging out one night and just like threw a bag on the table from Home Depot, and he goes, "I'm building a tattoo machine. You're gonna tattoo me tonight." And I was like, "Oh, okay." Guitar string, like Walkman motor. So yeah, that's awesome. My first tattoo I did.
Just prisons.
And it didn't pierce or puncture the skin. It just sliced and then filled the cut with ink.
But it's like Kevin like on the forehead.
No, the first one I did was on me, and it was a tattoo of that tattoo machine.
Rad.
And I still have that. And then on him, I did a kangaroo. Why? I don't know.
Is it still there?
I don't know. I'll have to ask Mike Flynn if you're out there.
My friend.
Do you still have it? Oh, did I cover it on you? I might have covered it on you. Yeah. Yeah. All right. What else? Here's a good one. Where do you see the firearms industry going in the next 5, 10, 15 years? And then for me, the tattoo industry. Because a lot of things are changing all around right now.
Everything. Both industries are changing wild.
Right.
Like all of a sudden, just over the weekend, like a bunch of California off-roster weapons have been approved, and nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
Like
Bummer
like,
for all the guys
yeah.
on Calguns selling their
Oh, yeah.
P365 for $2,000.
Yeah, now they're getting calls. Like I was at the gun shop yesterday, and there's a bunch of dudes with 365s there, and the owner's like, I just had to call all these guys and tell them their guns ain't worth anything anymore. So a lot of them just gonna come pick it up now. So
Wow.
it's wild.
Yeah, I think I commented on Rifle Supplies Instagram, like, whole bunch of shields are going to be for sale now. Because like, who wants that
I
now?
might get 2.0. I might want to go test that M&P life out.
Is the 2.0 double stack to where you could have 10 rounds in California?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the only thing I don't like about the Shield 9.
Nice single stack.
Single stack.
Yeah. Plus, it's always hard to rack those things, so I try to push the 43X, but it's still
Snappy.
so snappy.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of guys, and I'm guilty of this too, I normally train with my Glock 19 because it's easier and better to shoot. I don't train as much with my Shield, but yet that's the gun I carry most. That's something I need to work on. But when you're out of the range, it just seems so much more fun to shoot the fun gun, you know, and not the little, that's just my carry gun.
Yeah.
That's the gun you should
That's why I push everybody to carry their full size, because that's what they're training the most with. So.
Yeah. I mean, I had that experience, you know, some young kids were driving in the car next to me.
Oh, yeah.
Some teenager, they yelling and cussing at me, and I'm just ignoring them, but my daughter's in the car. And I had the thought, you know, I didn't think they were going to do anything, but that thought runs through your head, what if they did? And in that moment, I was like, man, I wish I had a Glock 15. Wish I had the gun that I trained with the light and the red dot, you know, so.
Order a holster that night for it? Or
I did,
Yeah.
yeah, so I could carry it with the light, yeah. Thanks, T-Rex Arms.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to Lucas.
Yeah. No relation?
No.
All right, so with the tattoo industry, or is there anything else you want to cover on the gun world changing? Things that you see it progressing to in the next, you know, so many years.
I see people are getting better. They're seeking professional training instead of just going out to the desert and mag dumping. Shout out to all the mag dumpers still not progressing in their training. Go buy some, go purchase training, ammo. That's like what I tell everybody.
Yep.
Keep your gun collection at a minimum and get efficient with those and train, get good.
Yeah. Yeah, I see in classes now, whereas 5, 6, however many years ago, when I started taking classes more regularly, everyone has like a squared away battle belt, a squared away plate carrier, like good gear, like everyone. And I used to be, I would just, I had like some pretty bad plates and carriers in the beginning, but you just
I think we all have.
yeah, you piece together what you can in the beginning. But now it's like guys, their first purchase into the gear side is
Super good.
they're doing their research.
We're yelling at them. Probably let's buy one.
Yeah. I will fudge that a little. I'll try to get away with cheaper stuff where I can. But then if it doesn't work
I just say ball out, young kings, ball out.
yeah, so as far as the tattoo industry, I'll also see a lot of changes. I've only been in it for 10 years, and I've seen it change in the last 3 years, especially post-COVID, dramatically, where people are now able to buy supplies and machines online. TikTok and Instagram is blown up with education. So you get a lot of people who think, oh, it was so hard to get an apprenticeship, which a lot of times I never even tried to get in the first place. Or apprenticeship isn't fair. I'm just going to teach myself. And, the scary thing is that it is so much more accessible. So you have those two things combined. I think you're going to see, just explosion of new studios and artists out there. And I think you might even see the slow death of the traditional tattoo shop and the walk-in. I hate to say it because that's where I worked and was raised in that world, but I see it going that way. It is, man. That being said, I think that the art there is going to be a lot of new artists. They're not all going to be good. They may think they are, but the artists that are squared away that have been doing it a long time, I think will have security. Although time will tell, right?
Well, will that type of tattoo, like that generation, will that live on, or is it just dying with everybody at this point?
A lot are leaving.
The TikTok tattoo artists, is that who's going to take over the next wave of generation? Or?
I think that generation is taking over everything anyway. And, this is totally off topic, but I feel like as a millennial, we're now entering our middle age, getting into our 40s and stuff. And I feel like a lot of us got stuck in between boomers and Gen Z. The boomers got houses for cheap and they're excelling and they're retiring. A lot of them are losing their retirement now, but at least they have a house, right? And they got it cheap. And then you have Gen Z who's figured out a lot of this e-commerce, hustle, culture, and they're buying the boomers' houses now. And I feel like a lot of the millennials are just stuck wait, we have the work ethic of the boomers, but none of the opportunity.
They didn't grow with the times.
Yeah, but so back to that. I think that generation is taking over everything, and a lot of tattoo artists have been doing it 10, 20 years, 15 years. I'm seeing them post. I'm having my slowest years back to back to back. And they're artists that are killers, that are so good. Scary to see, but.
What about AI and tattoo?
That's another thing. I've had clients bring me designs that they had AI do, and I look at it and go, because with all those other things combined, at least if, back in the day you could get your hands on a tattoo machine and teach yourself, at least you had to draw to come up with a design. Now you literally, AI could just give you 10 examples of your desired tattoo that are flawless. Not always flawless. No, so the one recently I tried to change it and cleaned up, made it more symmetrical. And he's like, I kind of like how the AI did it. Roger that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. See how long this job exists. Oh man, I don't know how we're doing on time, but we'll go until we can. There's some more tattoo and some gun questions. There's painful tattoo. I mean, everyone knows tattoos hurt.
Where's coming off though?
Oh yeah, you want to talk about tattoo removal? We're both experiencing that.
I'm currently having my hands removed and one back on my neck. And it's probably the most painful experience.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather tattoo my entire body than get any more tattoo removal.
I'm also doing my hands. I don't have as much as you.
Brutal.
It sucks.
So,
And they told me this last time, they didn't tell me in the first session because I've only had 2 sessions so far. She goes, oh, we turn it up a little each time.
yeah.
Oh, I'm like, so it hurts more every time? She's like, nah. I'm like, just tell me.
Yeah.
Just give me
Be honest.
Be honest. She's like, it hurts more every time. I'm like, I'm glad you didn't tell me in the beginning. 'Cause, yeah. So think twice, kids. When you get
Yeah. When your parents go, wait till you get a real job. Like, I have a real job, but I'm trying to get a different job and it doesn't allow it. So,
Yes, same.
yeah. I'm at the point where it's cranked up so much and hurts so bad that they're injecting me like local anesthetic in my entire hand. And it's cranked all the way up. So, within a 24 to 48 hours, it's just super blistered and gnarly and nasty. And like, I still have to go to work and just pus and just shooting out when I bend my wrist. It's so brutal.
They tell you, oh, it's like a bacon grease splattered in your
Yeah.
hand or a snap of a rubber
They
band.
just don't say like it's bacon grease burned in a giant blister. And you gotta, you know, you gotta become a doctor for yourself and try to wrap it and just keep it clean. Oh, it's so brutal.
Yeah, I felt like this finger one. My wife was like, how'd that one feel?
Just wait.
Like an ice pick.
Yeah.
And someone's going like, bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're on 2, so I'm on 8. I'm going back for 9 soon, so it's just max power. It hurts so bad.
Yeah, so I don't know what most painful tattoo is, but that's definitely the most painful experience. I'm skipping ahead and moving around just because I really like this question. We'll maybe keep this one short. Have you ever experienced an ND or an accident on the range or seen someone have an ND?
Yes. I was in a first defense class with Mark Ackenbeck.
Oh, is he going to be on the show?
He's going to be on soon, so I'm pretty sure we have him scheduled.
Yes.
Well, I was in a class, and it was actually a guy next to me. And we were doing just a up-down rifle drill, like low ready. And I came up shot, and the dude was kind of racing me off to my left. And he ND'd before, he was maybe at like a 40. Like he just right to the ground, and Mark just came up and goes, well, did you fucking make the shot or what? He's like, no, don't do that shit again.
Yeah.
So,
I think in training environments is when you'll see it a lot.
yeah.
Especially in like a competition or a long training class. You're looking at hours and hours in the sun. You're doing something you don't normally do. Your brain is hyper focused and trying to learn and perform at the same time. The one I had was one of the very first classes I ever took. It was a pistol class, and he was having us transition from strong hand to offhand, but shooting offhand. And in the transition, I just had never done that before. I squeezed. Now, of course, it was in a safe direction.
So you did it.
I did.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
even better.
This was a long time ago, but you know, it was a
Same time.
learning experience.
And our instructor.
But I use that like when I do, teach people or do anything like that, bring them out. It can happen to anyone, and as long as you're following the firearm safety rules, there's 4. Then you reduce your possibility of injuring someone or yourself. So like I was pointed downrange into the berm. I just didn't intend for that round to go off. I was definitely at that point way beyond my skill level.
Yeah.
And that's something I tell people when I bring them out to the range for the first time or they're newer. If any of this feels advanced or feels too outside your comfort zone, don't be afraid to dial it back.
But also, you got to push that
Yeah.
level of comfort to improve. So you got to find that fine line of pushing it and sucking.
Yes.
And you got to go up. You just got to keep going till you're at the level you want to be at.
Absolutely.
And then you'll probably still suck. So you just got to keep going.
But you do have to know when you're getting tired.
Yeah.
When and it's funny, I think a lot of the things you should do to prep for getting a tattoo, you should prep for taking the class. Good night's sleep. Hydration.
Yeah.
Don't be hungover. Don't do anything dumb the night before. Come ready. Yeah. Absolutely. I saw a guy in a competition. This was bad. I won't even say where it was, who ran the contest.
Tattoo or shooting?
Oh, this is shooting. And he was running from a stage, a string of fire, one of the stages to the next. As he's running, he NDs his AR at a 45-degree angle. Luckily, there's a mountain. I don't think he cleared the mountain. But on the move, totally accidental. And the people that were running, again, I won't say who.
They take them off.
No.
What?
You still have to shoot. I was like, dude, because when I had my thing, the instructor was like, hey, you're done for the day.
Yeah,
It was towards the end of the day. And I was like, cool, eat some humble pie. I deserve that. When they let him shoot, I was like, I don't think I'll ever go back to
That
this.
should be done.
Yeah.
Sit on the bench. Don't do that again.
Yeah, it was shocking. And then, like, there was another stage, and I was like, I was a brand new shooter. I'd maybe done like 1 or 2 classes and like 1 competition, and I'm like, hey, maybe for this stage, like, limit it to the actual round count so that when they're holstering,
Exactly.
they're not. Yeah, I'm like,
I'm shooting themselves.
yeah. After seeing what that guy did, I'm good.
So we say we wrap this one up.
Yeah, I think
Good.
I think that was.
Everybody?
I'm super excited to be doing this with you, man,
Heck
and I can't wait to see all the guests that we have on. We have a stacked lineup between.
How many people hit us up?
Dude, so many tattoo
Sick.
artists, so many instructors,
Yeah.
phenomenal shooters. I know our next 2 coming up. We have Mark from First Defense, Mark Ackenbach. Is that how you say it? And then Joe,
Joe.
who can only be named Joe.
Man of mystery.
He might have a blurred face. He might
have
be
a blurred face for sure.
in some special forces
Yeah,
stuff. We'll
yeah.
get into that. But
That's pretty cool.
yeah, man. Anything else you want to close with?
No, just you can find me at RKBTactical.com and on Instagram. And yeah, man, just cool merch, just doing the thing, training, and just putting out cool content. That's like what it's all about.
Absolutely. All in with my plug, Alex Coulter Tattoo on Instagram, Inkton Tools on Instagram. If you're a tattoo artist looking for business solutions and software and stuff. And then, yeah, we're offering some basic classes for training. So hit up RKB Tactical for, we'll be putting out some very, very basic classes. We're not getting into the high speed stuff
Yes.
yet.
Yet.
But a lot of people are just getting into guns and they need that entry level stuff.
Like
So
wave coming, so entry level for sure.
awesome. Episode 1 in the bag.
Good.
Thanks, buddy.